Imagine the silence. Not the quiet of a late night or a remote forest, but a silence so heavy it feels like it's crushing your chest. A world where the hum of electricity, the roar of traffic, and the chatter of billions have simply evaporated. Now imagine you are the only one left to hear it, or so you thought. This isn't a story about a hero. It's a story about a boy who woke up to find the world ended while he was dreaming, and the staggering weight of what it means to be the last of your kind. But in the ruins of civilization, he discovers he isn't entirely alone. 5 survivors, all women, have found him, and with their arrival, the crushing silence is replaced by something far more terrifying: a mandate, a duty, the forced resurrection of the human race. The sky over the empty cities is a haunting blue, reclaimed by nature as vines choke the skyscrapers of New York and London. For our protagonist, the initial shock of the apocalypse has faded into a numbing routine of scavenging, but the arrival of the 5 changes everything. They aren't just survivors, they are the architects of a desperate plan. In their eyes, he isn't a person anymore, he is a resource. He is the single point of failure for the entire human story. The psychological toll of this reality is immediate. In a world with no laws, no governments, and no social safety nets, the moral choice becomes a blurred line. When the extinction of your species is the alternative, does individual consent still exist? This is the friction that ignites the narrative. He is a boy forced into the role of a progenitor, a father to a nation that doesn't exist yet, surrounded by 5 women who are equally trapped by the same biological ultimatum. As they settle into a makeshift colony, the tension is thick enough to cut. It's not a romantic fantasy, it's a pressure cooker. Each of the 5 women views the situation through a different lens. One sees it as a cold scientific necessity. Another mourns the world that was, seeing this new world as a hollow imitation. For the boy, every interaction is loaded with the shadow of what must be done. Every meal, every conversation, every sunset is a countdown toward a responsibility he never asked for. The physical environment serves as a constant reminder of what they've lost. They walk through empty shopping malls and ghost towns, picking through the skeletal remains of a world that once felt invincible. It highlights the absurdity of their task. How do you rebuild a planet with 6 people? How do you teach the next generation about art, history, or justice when your only priority is finding enough clean water to survive the week? Conflict begins to fracture their small group. Power dynamics shift as the reality of repopulation sets in. Jealousy, resentment, and fear bubble to the surface. The boy finds himself at the center of a storm he cannot control. He is the most important person on Earth, yet he has never felt more powerless. He is a prisoner of fate, locked in a gilded cage of survival. But amidst the grit and the gloom, moments of profound human connection emerge. They find an old record player that still works. They share a laugh over a discovered stash of chocolate. They look at the stars, now brighter than ever without the smog of industry. These moments pose the ultimate question: is humanity worth saving if the cost is the loss of our individual souls? As the months pass, the pressure from the group intensifies. The biological clock of the human race is ticking. The forced nature of their mission begins to weigh on everyone's conscience. They are forced to confront the darkest parts of their nature. Is survival enough, or do we need freedom to truly be human? The boy realizes that to lead this new world, he must first find a way to reclaim his own agency within it. The story reaches a breaking point when the first steps toward their goal are finally taken. It's a moment stripped of glamour, filled instead with a heavy cinematic melancholy. It's the realization that the world they knew is gone forever, and the one they are building will be born from necessity, not choice. They are the bridge between the past and an uncertain future, walking a tightrope over the abyss of extinction. Ultimately, this is a journey of transformation,
The boy who was alone finds that being with others is its own kind of isolation when the stakes are this high. He grows from a terrified survivor into a man carrying the legacy of billions. He learns that while they may be forced to repopulate, the love, compassion, and culture they choose to pass on is still within their control. If you were the last of your kind, would you accept the burden? Would you sacrifice your life, your choices, and your peace to ensure that the human story doesn't end with you? It's a question with no easy answer, a dilemma that haunts every corner of this empty earth. We are all products of a long, unbroken chain of survival, but rarely do we think about the links in that chain. For these 6 people, the chain has narrowed to a single thread. It is fragile, it is frayed, and it is under immense tension. But as long as it doesn't snap, there is hope. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the quiet end of the world. This story challenges us to look at our own lives, our freedoms, our choices, and our connections with fresh eyes. If this exploration of survival and the human spirit resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button to help us share more stories like this, and leave a comment below. If you were in his shoes, would you embrace the duty, or would you let the silence take over? Until next time, remember that even in the darkest isolation, the spark of humanity can still find a way to flicker.